Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, oops, laptop struggles are real. Long ago in the caveman era mid-range IBM server, why are you rebooting a server at high noon? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Oops. Laptop struggles are real. Let me take you back to the late 90s. Our company had over 150 consultants out in the field all over the US installing PeopleSoft. Consultants would at times be away for a week or two at a time. Most of the time they would fly home for the weekend, but if it was go live time they'd stay the weekend for the Monday morning launch. All that to say that one of our best consultants, C, was away on a big account and finally was able to go home after 2.5 weeks. When the consultant supervisor, CS, tried to contact him via email, there was no response for a couple days. Me, IT, this is BamBam67. CS, hey, could you give consultant a call? He said he's having trouble with his laptop. Me, of course, I'll call him right now. I hang up and call consultant at home. They usually had 3 to 4 days between deployments. C, hello? Me, hey C, this is BamBam67 from the help desk. I heard from CS that you're having some issues. I'm hoping I can help. C, I'm not sure if you can. Me, why not? What's going on? C, it's kind of embarrassing. Me, don't worry, I've heard it all. I had. C, well, I flew home on Friday night. I hadn't been home in weeks. My wife and kids all came to pick me up at the airport. Me, okay. Wondering where this is going. C, they met me in the airport with signs welcoming home. It was adorable. Me, I bet, sounds great. C, we get to the car and we load everything up and I back out of the parking spot. I hit a bump and hit the gas to go over it. Me, realizing what happened, it wasn't a bump, was it? C, no. I set my suitcase and computer bag down so I could load the kids in the car. I put my bags in the back, but I missed my computer bag and ran over it. Me, oh my, okay, how bad is it? C, first off, this was completely my fault. I will pay for the replacement. Me, let's worry about that later. Do you have it there with you? C, yes. Sounding a bit dejected. Me, can you describe the damage? C, it's really bad. You know how laptops are usually flat? This is a U. I can't even open the lid. I'm afraid I've lost all my notes and files. CS will fire me for sure. Side note, IT had just sent out a message a week before asking people to take better care of their equipment and treat it like their own. It was a bit stern and straight to the point, and some people thought it could be a termination offense, even though that was never stated. Me, look, no one is getting fired. What I need you to do is pack that thing up the best you can and overnight it to me. C, yes, of course. I go right now. Me, great, as soon as I get it and take a look I'll give you a call. The next day we received the package. The IBM 760 laptop was munched. What I found out later that his car was a SUV. It rolled on and over that bag. He wouldn't send the bag back, he was going to buy his own replacement. I grabbed our department toolbox that we kept in the server room and was able to use a screwdriver to pry open the top. Because it was now U-shaped, the hinges finally gave way and snapped. Pieces of laptop flew across the room as my coworkers watched me operate. They cringed at the sight and sound of cracking, mangled plastic. As I've stated before, the great thing about that laptop was how all parts were modular and replaced very easily. As I carefully discarded the screen that was shattered beyond imagination, taking the brunt of the tire, I went to work on the keyboard. Like a messed up Scrabble board, letters are scattered and missing. I tore the keyboard off to discover the condition of the real treasure inside, the hard drive. As I pull away the last bits of keyboard, there it was, the hard drive nested inside this mangled piece of plastic. I was careful to take the battery out first, it looked slightly damaged. I did my best to gently remove the hard drive. As I took it out, I could hear the cracking of plastic not wanting to give up its treasure. Inspecting the hard drive, there wasn't a scratch on it. Me, someone get me a new shell. Someone scrambled behind me and grabbed a brand new IBM 760 shell, and placed on our shared center table in our IT room. I placed the hard drive in, and it snapped in like normal. Put in a new battery and was ready to test. I slid the power button to on and the IBM screen pops up. Good so far. The screen went dark. This was the moment of truth. You could only hear the mechanical sounds of the drive spinning as we watched, holding our breath. When the Windows logo appeared, you would have thought we just won the Super Bowl. Cheers and high fives for everyone. It booted to the logon screen and acted as if nothing had happened to it. I called C. C, this is C. Me, I've got some good news and bad news. C, what's the bad news? Me, your laptop is a complete loss, except. C, except what? Me, except the good news is we were able to recover the hard drive. We are packing it up right now. You should receive it tomorrow morning. C, oh my God, thank you so much. I'll have to call CS and let him know. Me, no worries, I just talked to him, and let him know we swapped out your laptop for another one. C, did you tell him what happened? Me, yep, told him you were having trouble with the shell, not a total lie, and it needed replacement. He was happy to get you back online and set up your next gig. C was a great person and always took care of his computer equipment, so I wanted to do him a solid. As for the broken IBM shell, I used that in our training session for new hires on computer equipment responsibility. Needless to say, it was very effective. Everyone was happy, back to work, and I had a visual aid as a warning to new hires. Alright everyone. I have to get back to work myself. Until next time, remember, when someone calls you for help, you are their solution. Helping others is its own reward. Cheers. Long ago in the caveman era, mid-range IBM server. Why are you rebooting a server at high noon? Short explanation of the environment. Early 1990s, when I was working at IBM's tech support for their AS/400 series, a mid-range server system, multi-user, and can have anywhere from 2 to well over 200 hard drives and terabytes of data, large for the 90s. A few terms may be needed to help the story. IPL, initial program load, is basically either powering up or a reboot. Retain, IBM's master worldwide system of problem/incident recording, notes, etc., with records entered by each tech as they work with the clients. All are companies, not individuals. IBM runs 3 shifts in tech support daily. I worked late 2 and D/early 3rd shift. A notification came in on Retain. Message CPF 9999 on damaged object XXXXX in library YYYYY from customer. This was about 8:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm in the middle of 2nd shift, and it seemed to be a fairly normal call. Usually if it's a program, recompile it or restore it from a backup. If it's parts of the operating system, fixing stuff like this requires either tweaking the actual objects by a developer signed on remotely, or reinstalling part of the operating system, partially or fully. When the call came in, I noticed that the problem record had originated in Retain a little bit after noon today. There were about 10 recurrences of this customer coming in all afternoon on the same problem record. All were in regards to damaged or missing objects. Why so many? Each technician before me just handled each individual issue, either restoring, recompiling, or tweaking objects. But I noticed something at the very top entry, the first call in the record, damaged object found at IPL. Wait. This record originated around noon and it was an error occurring during an IPL? A reboot or powering up the system? What is a business or any organization doing a reboot at high noon on a typical business day? Usually a company will have their systems down for maintenance and or backups like at night or on the weekend, or both. So this seemed quite odd to me, even more odd and coincidental they had many calls this afternoon. I brought over my manager and had him on the phone call with the client, and I sheepishly asked the client, what was going on at the time you were IPLing the system? We had a disk crash. In today's parlance, it was a facepalm event. If the first technician, or any of them after that, would have asked that basic question, what led to this, the proper answer would be a full restore of the system from backup. The restore process could take anywhere from 3 to 12 hours, or more, but at the rate this client was going, he'd probably tie us up for the whole next week getting assistance, trying to piece together missing/damaged objects. We got them going on doing a partial restore of the system, and ran a checking function for missing/damaged objects. At least I got a few attaboys for having the presence of mind to look at the forest, not the individual tria.